Anton Kardash, a couple of months in the top job at the REIQ. Thanks for your time today. Tell us, the latest data for Queensland was fairly positive. Is that likely to continue throughout the year?
That's a good question, Shannon. I think Queensland's a very interesting state. It's so large and it is a patchwork. But by and large, across the whole of the state, we're starting to see some rejuvenation and some movement in a positive territory. If we'd been in a mining town, we would have seen a very good year over the last 12 months and a projected good year into the next 12 months. We're seeing that ripple now coming down into the major Brisbane area, and we're starting to see some of the tourist areas also showing signs of recovery. But there are still some pockets that are dragging behind. So overall, you'd have to say the state is going to be more positive, but there will be pockets which will take longer than others.
Queensland tends to be a mixed bag. Is that a fair description for the last 12 months?
Oh, absolutely. I think from a member's perspective and from the public's perspective, the whole concept of real estate's been particularly difficult in the last 12 months. Is it the time to buy? Is it the time to sell? We're a confidence-based industry, and there hasn't been a confidence in the marketplace. People have been taking out loans but not using them. Everyone's sort of waiting to see what's going to happen, and that obviously affects the market. And in those areas where there is confidence, like the mining areas, Gladstone and Mackay, you're just seeing those markets boom right ahead at the moment.
What fundamentals do we need for that positivity to continue?
For the confidence to return, I think we're on the right track already with some of those things. We've got the floods behind us now, well and truly. Although we do have the uncertainty from the overseas money market in terms of Greece, and that will erode confidence at the moment. Certainly things like the recent rate cut from the Reserve Bank is a real positive indicator and a real confidence booster, and that'll take a couple of months to filter through. We've got the up-and-coming legislation by the new LNP government to bring back the principal place of residence stamp duty concession of $7,000. That will be another confidence booster. And I think that's what we're starting to see now in the marketplace, which is why sales activity in so many sections of the state really dramatically improved over the last quarter in this current data set.
And how does Queensland fit nationally?
From what I understand, I think we're not dissimilar. Our difference is our size and the complexity of our marketplace. I mean, if you compare us to Victoria, it's a much more defined marketplace with maybe one or two variables. With Queensland, there are so many variables. So there's the mining industry, there's the rural agricultural component, there's the inner city, there's the tourism areas of Cairns, Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast. So we're a much more complex state in terms of our industry. Having said that, looking at the data for those areas where they are compatible, it seems that we're on track with pretty much everywhere else. But I think we're probably a better investment place to be at the moment.
Outside of those resources communities, is Queensland still a good bet for investors?
We believe so. We believe so because I think the question has been, have we hit the bottom of the market? And now the question really is, have we passed the bottom of the market? And again, depending on where you are, I have to say we're well and truly off the bottom and moving along quite nicely. Some areas, unfortunately, like the Gold Coast, are just stabilising at the moment. And for me, for an investor perspective, now would be the time. If you've got your money available, now's the time to actually look for these buys, because from now on we'll start to see the median price increase, as it is already doing. Brisbane City's median price went up 1.4% in the last quarter, and we'd stabilised around 500, just below 500,000. We're now over 500,000. So for me, that's just an indicator that the market is starting to climb back. It'll be a slow climb, but it will be a climb back into the positive.
The downward movement in interest rates and steady inflation and unemployment, what sort of impact does that have?
Well, obviously positive. I mean, it's about confidence, as we were saying earlier. If we get another rate decrease, that's another shot in the arm for the industry. It makes people feel more comfortable in spending money. We're starting to see movement in people upsizing. And for me, that's always a really good indicator of the confidence in the marketplace. They don't have to do it right now, but they're choosing to do it right now because they see the deal being there. If we can keep those confidence boosters coming through and the overseas news isn't too negative, I think the Queensland market will really start to perform over the next year to 2 years.
Queensland's positive start to the year, is that likely to be replicated across the country?
Well, I certainly hope so. I hope for everyone's sake it does, because I mean, what we need is a strong community if we want a strong real estate industry.